I would say emotional control. Look, if you think about cycles, and this is there's a lot about this in the book, and that's why I recommend that everybody buy several copies. But if you think about the cycle, the market cycle, let's say, that goes this way, what's happening? So we're in one of these periods, and the economic news is good. Everything on MSNBC is favorable. The newspapers only report the good news. Most stories can be given a positive spin. The companies are performing, and they're generally exceeding expectations. The stock prices are rising. The rising stock prices are making people feel good. People are turning more optimistic. Their fears are abating. Their eagerness is rising, and they're buying. And people tend to buy more when prices go higher. And then, of course, the reverse is true on the other side. The news is bad. People get depressed. They've lost money. They feel terrible, and they start to sell. So people tend to buy a lot here and sell a lot here. Now, unless I'm mistaken, they got it wrong. You're supposed to buy here and sell here, and not buy here and sell here. Buy low, sell high. It's very easy dictum. So why do they do the opposite? Why do people buy here and sell here? And the answer is, I think we can lump the explanation under the heading of emotion. And so you mentioned Seth Klarman and Stan Druckenmiller. I mean, these are two people that have been here in this series, and I think one of the things that they have in common among they're very different people, but they're both brilliant. But one of the things they both have in common is they're not emotional. And I say in my book that not being very emotional is very useful in the investing world. There are worlds in which it's not such a good thing, like in marriage. Lack of emotionality does not endear us to our spouses. But the truth of the matter is, it's very helpful to either be unemotional or have the ability to control your emotions. You have to, when you make the really big money in this world by unhooking from the market when it gets up here, and everybody's happy, and nobody could think of anything that could ever go wrong, and everybody thinks that trees are going to grow to the sky, and so you sell up here, and then the market collapses, and when you get down here, nobody can think of anything that could ever go right again, and every stock price is devoid of any optimism at all, and that's a great time to buy. But to be that, you have to be a contrarian, and you have to be able to diverge from the crowd. Now, if you think about it, everybody receives the same inputs. We read the same newspaper. The economic news is the same for all of us. The corporate news is the same for all of us. The TV says the same thing to all of us. Some of us see the news and the prices as a buy signal, and just when most people see the news and the prices as a sell signal, and vice versa. And you want to be in the minority. Back in the early 70s, somebody gave me a great gift and told me about the 3 stages of a bull market. The first stage, when only a few unusually perceptive people believe to understand that there could be some improvement. The second stage, when most people accept that improvement is actually taking place. And the third stage, when everybody and his brother believes that things can only get better forever. You make a lot of money if you buy in the first stage. You lose a lot of money if you buy in the last stage. You buy the same things, but what matters is when do you buy them and at what price. And to do that, you have to, the prices are set low because everybody else is pessimistic. You should be optimistic. The market is set high and dangerous. When everybody else is optimistic, you should be pessimistic. But it takes, obviously, emotional control to be able to do that.